Howdy, everyone. Welcome to Man-O-Rama. I'm your host, rancorsteve. Tonight, we're going to talk about nut up or shut up. Pretty much why men should just, especially guys, not men, guys should just kind of start stepping it up. Be masculine. Be all this. Be all that you can be with being a man. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, yeah. Well, howdy, everybody. Welcome to the 112th episode. Not the 111th episode, unlike last week, if anyone noticed that earlier. I am your host, rancorsteve, and it is going to be a lot of fun. I will bring in the panel for tonight's show. No drum roll, please. It's okay. Vincent, how's your week been?
Absolutely wonderful, my friend. Absolutely wonderful.
Nice. And Rick.
Helps if I remember to unmute in both places.
That's what she said. What?
Well, that's what ball gags are for. That's for a different show. But anyway, so no, today was kind of nuts. This was my first day back after taking a couple of days off, and my show absolutely exploded this afternoon. Last time I looked, we were at nearly 3K for one episode, which is pretty good for me. Yeah. Normally, I'm happy if we're sitting at about 400 or 500. Today, it was just like, holy crap, everybody's listening. I was like, dude, this is like getting close to what I used to get when I sent in on KOKC when I was filling in for other people.
Because there was nothing else going on.
Dude, it's just, yeah. There's no news cycles or anything anymore. But yeah, no, I'm good. It's my Monday. I'm just now getting back to work. Took a couple days off for the first time in a while that didn't involve me being sick. I actually sat down and watched the Super Bowl and watched one of my Sooners kick ass and take names, otherwise known as Jalen Hurts. So that was kind of fun.
Hey. Canadian Spider-Man, how's your week been?
Oh, man. Let me tell you. Garden potatoes, garlic, venison, noodles, and mushrooms. It's been pretty good. I've been making stew.
Oh, okay. I was going through my head. I was like, what is he making?
Garlic, potatoes, noodles, venison, and mushrooms. It's a venison stew. It's a hearty Scottish stew with barley. If you don't add barley, it's not Scottish.
Excited with these mushrooms.
And Ordy, how's your week been?
It's fucking awesome. I mean, it's a little cold. We're not getting any real weather. We did get a little snow earlier in the week, but we're in that time of year in California where it doesn't know if it's going to be winter or spring, so it does both within a 48-hour period.
Yeah. It's pretty bipolar.
Yeah. It's it's a little like my first wife.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll
take
it.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, how about you, Steve? How was your week? What's going on with Steve?
I think Jeff is in the background also.
I'm always in the background waiting to probe. I mean, hey, how are you?
That is the most creepiest thing ever. I want to see that entire line done in a creepy movie. Be like, hi. How's your week been, man?
Cold.
Cold
And snowy. We're getting ready for our 4th snowstorm in 6 days. So,
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's not too cold to snow then.
Oh, when it's not snowing, it's -10.
Yeah, because it does get too cold to snow. That is a thing.
I will say this. When I lived in Nebraska, I hated the snow and the snowstorms. I kind of miss that now living in California. I do.
No, you don't.
No, because I'll tell you why. It's because it makes me remember like growing up as a kid. The smell of the snow and all that stuff, like just the feel of it. It just made me feel like a kid. And as I get older, I kind of was like, man, I would like it to be a blizzard.
Don't you getting older?
What?
Pretty sure you've been getting older because you've never actually grown up.
No. Hey, I'm trying to relate to you old folks.
I don't. No, in the 2 years we've been doing this show, Steve, you look younger than when we first started. If anything, I'm not kidding. You have less gray in your beard than when we first started.
It's
This
the
segment brought to you
adrenochrome.
by Men and by Men.
It's
for
it's
darkening your beard.
It's the adrenochrome.
it's the stem cells.
My week was fun-ish. I did a Super Bowl stream just the first couple hours. It was pretty fun doing that. Trying to introduce a new podcast with sporting events, like special sporting events and all that fun stuff. Yeah, and not much. Taking the wife to Oregon this weekend for her birthday. Because for some reason she wants to go to Oregon to see friends, like friends and family stuff. I was like, all right, so I bought all the tickets and stuff. I was like, cool. But yeah, it's not much on my end, really. Nothing too exciting. Just driving my truck, feeling like a boss. I did.
You got behind the camera.
What?
You got behind the camera.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, at my church every Sunday I will film. I'm like one of the main film guys.
That's cool.
So that's kind of cool. They did decide once I get there, I'm like, all right, what do you guys want me to do? And pretty much whenever they tell me, like at our church, they'll do camera 2, camera 3, whatever it is that they want to pick in the service.
And Star Wipe.
You know,
And
and Star Wars Fade. But for me, I don't have to reply to them because everyone else is like, okay, I'll do that. Okay. I just do it because I know exactly what they're doing because there's a guy who does film or who used to do film. So he knows all the terminologies like push and pull and all that stuff. And I just do it and quiet. And then they just like, you need to talk. At least let us know you're breathing. I was like, I'm here. But I am working on getting my general's contractor's license this summer. So that'll be
Nice. Yes.
Yeah. I have a
Rebuild
boss.
California.
What you built? Nah, maybe
Now
they-
rebuild.
Yeah, well, maybe, but
Use
I mean,
bricks.
I have.
Don't use wood. Use bricks.
Yeah, that is a good point. Then you'll just heat up the whole
That's why
house.
there's no castles in Canada. Not because we didn't have them. We made them from wood, and we don't have any now. That's why.
But I mean, I have the boss's truck now, so it makes sense that I have the general's contractor's license.
you know what you also don't have in Canada? Earthquakes. Don't build with brick.
Vancouver might argue with you. One day, California's going to be off the coast of Vancouver because it's sliding up, eh? Everyone thinks
They've
it's
been
sliding
talking
down.
about that for 20
Sliding
some
up.
extra years.
Well, it's going to be thousands.
Well,
of
no,
years.
I mean California does move 1/8 of an inch north every year.
Yeah, there you go.
The
And
more you
Vancouver's
know.
becoming more and more like California every fucking year, I swear to God.
I actually
Take
almost moved to Vancouver.
Take it.
Yeah, but when we
Good-
pass
I
each
almost
other, we
went
can
to-
trade.
Hey, Suzanne.
So we're gonna get into one of our fun segments of the show. I like all our segments, but this one especially is fun because we've changed it up. It's no more of correcting people, it's just ball busting everybody.
Twitter.
Right, everybody. It is Don't Be That Guy. Where the segment used to be, hey, let's correct simps and cucks and all that, but guess what? We moved on. We've grown up, guys.
Fuck 'em.
We don't.
Now,
Have we, though?
I was
Have we?
going with something, and then he just goes, "Fuck him." Yeah, yeah.
I was just gonna say now we teabag them. So
So here's the first one, guys. I should learn how to zoom out and all that stuff. Billie Eilish, whatever her dumb name you. See, this is
Eilish.
the problem I have with is parents have to come up with stupid names. What kind of
I
last
mean,
name is
Eilish is-
Eilish?
Eilish is a given name, so I'm sure it's existed for.
What am I kidding? My last name's one of the worst. Billie Eilish says men don't get criticized for their bodies because girls are nice. Guys, what is the problem with her stupid quote?
She's a liar. Girls are not nice.
Girls don't even know how to be nice. Let's just be honest.
Have you all seen Mean Girls?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
You may.
I
Sure,
thought
you're the
Michael
birthday
Jackson. I thought Michael Jackson died. I didn't know he transitioned.
Ooh,
That
the man
does
has
look
a
like
point.
that does look like Michael Jackson. I'm not gonna. Oh,
Dude, throw a really good tan on her, and you would not know.
I
You
mean,
would not know.
okay, I'll say it. She's got a nice rack, but I mean, I don't see anything about her that's redeeming whatsoever. Not her singing, not her looks. I mean, why is she a diva? Other divas I can understand, even Celine Dion for being Canadian is hot, or at least was. But this,
I don't
can't.
understand the word of the use of the word diva anyway. Diva implies singers with talent. Maria Callas
Right.
was a diva.
yeah.
Fucking that other Inva Mula. You'll know her from The Fifth Element, the Plava Laguna song.
Oh,
She actually
yeah.
I was actually
She was
going
the
to.
one-
Yeah.
She was the one who actually sang that. And
Okay.
yes, her range is that. She does have a range exactly like that, except without auto tune. Those are divas. Divas imply women of talent. These women they have no talent.
Here is the problem that I have with Billie Eilish, whatever. I don't see. This is how much I don't care about pop culture, like singers or whatever. I don't care. I'm more old school. But when she did a interview where she's making fun of ugly guys, this chick literally takes credit for her brother's writing because her brother writes all the music for her. Surprise, guys. But here's the thing: girls are not nice. No. And guys get criticized about their bodies a lot. It's just not talked about. Because what I mean is, like, women are like, I want a guy who's 5'4", or like not 5'4". That's my size. Jeez, 6'4". All these things. I want a guy who looks like Henry Cavill coming out of the shower and all this stuff. Like, ooh. Do you know how hard it is to keep a body built like Henry Cavill? It's not easy. It
Sounds like work.
Yeah,
Who the fuck wants to do that?
it is.
And
You know what?
And
What?
these ladies are the same ones that'll say, "Oh, I want a guy with 6'2", 6 figures." But the moment you put a scale down at their feet, they run away.
Exactly.
How dare you?
I did that to my wife one time, and I thought I was about to get punched in the face for it, but I was like, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna challenge this. My wife, only to me, she would tell me this, and she said something about like, you're 5'4", like jokingly to me, and so I put the scale right in front of her, and she looked like she was about to flinch and punch me, and I was like, oh boy, and she's like, my weight. I was like, that's true. I was like, never ask my height ever again. I don't know. I thought it was funny. Maybe that's a marriage.
Your wife is Latinx. You're lucky she didn't stab you in your sleep.
I know. She's Latinx.
Nah, it's more fun if you say Latinx. It's even more fun if you say it in front of her.
Tank.
No,
Latinx.
You wouldn't even care. That's the thing. Like, I told her, I was like, what do you feel about the word Latinx? And she's like, I don't care. I was like, you're not offended? She's like, what does that even mean? Like, that's
Is Latin X? Is it like Racer X's older brother?
Yes.
I explained it to her, and she's like, why are people like, that's stupid? Like, she's that far from like social media and everything. Like, she's like, I just rather do my own stuff. Look at fish, do biology and all that stuff. It's like, yeah, okay. Like, half the things I bring to her, she's like, what? But here's the next one, guys. So today, Google officially removes Pride Month from its calendar app. Here's the thing. This is why I'm very excited about this. This is not the don't be that guy. It's the next one. I hate my birthday. mostly because I don't care. Like it's my birthday, whoopie doo. But it's because June ended up being the gayest month of the year. I'm proud of this. Google, I appreciate this. Now, here's it's here, guys.
I mean, it is your birthday.
Yeah, surprise. This guy, not Phil Sledge, removing Pride Month undermines the importance of inclusivity.
Inclusivity.
Stupid liberals coming up with these big words. And representation in our society. This decision is disheartening, guys. What is the problem?
you have to say it with more contempt and more derision in your voice.
How would you say it, Shakespeare?
Removing Pride Month undermines the importance of inclusivity and representation in our society. This decision is disheartening.
We need
Boom.
gay biker dad to do these.
Oh,
Removing Pride Month undermines the importance and inclusivity of representation in our society. This decision is disheartening.
Yeah. Okay.
So
CSM,
what's the
your
problem
turn.
with this? But
Rick,
what is the
your turn.
Rick,
Besides the fact that they're retarded,
no,
No, I think really that not Phil Sledge should be repeatedly kicked in the genitals until he stops moving. But
I mean, he
agree.
already probably talks in a really high pitched voice, so I don't think that's going to make for him.
Look, guys, removing the Pride Month undermines the importance of inclusivity. Because I'm a liberal. We use big words and I have no idea what it means. And representation in our society. In our society, this decision is disheartening. Like, okay, here's the problem with the whole Pride Month thing. Look, if you're gay, you're gay. I don't care. But we don't need a damn month to shove it down our faces. Here's the thing. I think majority of Americans,
Even veterans only get a day. I'm just saying.
yeah, like there's like some Labor Day. I get 1 day out of the year for working as a.
Yeah, Labor Day is a communist holiday anyway,
Yeah,
so
it's
that's a bad
communist.
issue.
so you should
All
not
right.
celebrate it.
Scratch that.
I'm going to
But-
drop some knowledge for you guys.
Oh boy. Yes.
Here's what's wrong with this
Do it with a
statement.
list.
No.
No, he'll
We
say
have-
it and I'll translate it.
Here are just some of the days throughout the year that are LGBTQIMIAMOUSE. You have Zero Discrimination Day, International Transgender Day of Visibility, International Asexuality Day, Day of Silence, International Lesbian Visibility Day, International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biophobia, Pansexual and Panoramic Visibility Day, Harvey Milk Day, Pride Month, Stonewall Riots Anniversary somehow fits into this, International Non-Binary Peoples Day, International Drag Day, Celebrate Bisexuality Day, Bisexual Awareness Week, National Coming Out Day, LGBT History Month, that's in America for October, Asexual Awareness Week, also in October, Intersex Awareness Day, Transgender Awareness Week, Transgender Day of Remembrance, World AIDS Day. There are 150 days in the United States alone.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Did you say transgender visual?
Let me see which one that one
No, I
is.
think that
It
was
was
the
like-
lesbian.
Or the lesbian visual?
Yeah, International Lesbian Visibility Day, April 26th.
Fantastic.
That's-
I watch
that is-
lesbians every
It's the
morning.
lesbians
That is
for the
every day
blinds.
on YouPorn.
I mean, come on, man. That's like Pornhub every day. Come on, man.
All right, so
Okay,
this
hang
guy,
on, real quick.
150 days. Fuck your Pride Month.
Okay,
I'd
so
rather-
I actually didn't believe this. I had to go look up. Did Google really do this? Because it just seemed like, we're
It
just going to
seemed
pile
Google
this
do it.
on with all the screeching about everything. It's true. They also removed Black History Month, Holocaust Remembrance Day, Women's History Month, and a lot of other events. And they stated maintaining hundreds of cultural moments manually and consistently globally was not scalable or sustainable.
dang. Do you know what's even
So-
funnier about all this?
Took a long.
And they also changed it to Gulf of America. Yeah.
So here's something funny.
Women,
Everybody's been
But
so
Apple
yes.
Maps is better.
So yesterday, I guess Google did it yesterday. They changed Gulf of Mexico to Gulf America, which is the funniest thing because all it is just so we can drill for oil. That's all that is. Literally, that's all that is. So, guys,
Oh no,
don't.
it's a great troll to the left too. So
It
it's a
is.
troll
No,
move,
it
and
is.
it's
But it's
brilliant.
mainly like Trump's like, hey, we can't drill in Gulf of Mexico because Biden did all that stuff. Hey, how about I just change the name? And now we can. Here's what's
you see
funny.
Gulf America, yeah.
So here's what's even funnier about this. Everyone's like, I'm going to use Apple Map and all this stuff because it says Gulf of Mexico. Apple literally right before this show changed it to Gulf America. Fuck you, liberals, because that's funny as shit. What map
here's
are you
also-
gonna
not
use?
Here's also good bits about that. AP lost their White House press briefing credentials for calling it Gulf of Mexico, not Gulf of America. So
Yeah, I mean
they've-
AP's good naming now. I thought that was bad. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I
So
thought
we're gonna
dead
get
naming
to
was
the
bad.
next one. So Pokimane. Here's where it gets even funnier, guys. Pokimane. I think she deserves an award of finding the best Sims in the world. She says, "Do you live in the 1800s? Women and men can be friends, roomies, coworkers, etc., without being romantically involved." I call bullshit, but to each their own. I'm sorry, you've clearly never experienced this. All right, here's the next tweet. This guy said, "Absolutely, I have a Ruby, and we got along well. She was someone fun to watch movies or sports with. She had a boyfriend that lived out of the state, and we just got along properly. I think I spent more time with her dog." Guys, what is the problem with this?
I got
comment?
this one.
Dude.
I got this
Yes,
one
yes.
hard.
You got
They made
it.
they made Coco and they talked about boys. That's what they
One-
did.
Look at the name, Juan Carlos Gallo. He is the one most pissed off about Pride Month being wiped out.
No, I thought he's going to say no. It's pronounced Gallo.
Now,
Hero.
do you want to see the next comment?
The reply to
Oh,
that was
absolutely.
fantastic.
Please.
This is the golden one. Yeah, I had that too. Then we got drunk together and had sex. Guys,
My man Jay.
Yeah. Attaboy, Jay.
this is BAMF of the week, guys.
I gotta find
here's-
Jay Neckhammer and I gotta follow him for that one.
Here is the thing. Anyone watching, Pokimane is completely wrong. Because men and women cannot be friends. Because at some point, at the beginning, you might think, hey, we can be friends. But along the way, one of you two, mostly
No,
her,
it's not one of you. It's her.
Mhm.
that's
In my
yeah,
experience,
it is
has
her.
always
It's
been
her.
Her.
They're gonna have some type of attachment to you. And guess what? You ain't friends. It's an awkward friendship-ish kind of thing. But it gets really weird. I've had those a few times where I'm like, yeah, I can be friends with this chick. No,
No.
you can't.
Men.
No, there was
Yeah,
a,
but
there was a
isn't that-
there was a line
isn't-
from
Doesn't that unfulfilled sexual tension actually make the friendship better?
no, it does not.
Because
No.
you can joke with each other. Well, then I disagree. Because you can joke with each other
Because-
on a level that you're never gonna fuck, but you can always joke about it.
No.
Orty,
I disagree.
I'll let you go, Jack. I'll let you go, Vincent.
There was
and then
there
I'll-
was a line from a Steve Martin film, L.A. Story. I don't know if you've seen it, but you really should. It's one of his
best movie ever. What first comedy of the '90s?
Yes, best Steve Martin movie ever, I think. But
Yeah.
there's a line. He's sitting and he's talking to Richard E. Grant, and they're having a discussion about marriage. And he says, in England we have civil relations with our exes. Here in America, you kill them. And I'm like, yeah, America,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So this is why.
What's that clanging noise?
It's a damn nuisance. It's my balls.
It's like, yeah.
So this is why, Orty, I don't agree with you. Is
Okay.
and I agree with you a lot on things, but this is where I don't agree. Because if you're really good friends and you can joke around like what this guy supposedly says, she's a lesbian.
Which is
I-
also
I
hot,
just-
so fine.
Yeah,
I'm
why would
reminded
you
of
wanna-
the Bill.
Oh, it's fine. I don't
You're
care.
a lesbian.
I'm reminded of the Bill Burr joke, where men are programmed to fuck 80% of the women, and that 20% is my addendum. And if there's enough booze, that number grows larger.
Comes 100%.
Almost, yes, yes. So I think it's a very rare situation where I think it can actually happen, but the majority of the time, no.
It's really rare. Like, and some guys are like, "Oh, I'm friends with my exes." I'm like,
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
no.
Oh,
So we're
nobody's a
gonna
friend with
get
their ex.
to. Here's this one. Hey, Canadian Spider-Man.
Well,
is this
hang
a
on,
homebrew
hang
or
on.
Secret
I
Legion?
have input.
Oh Jesus, that's a dude.
Are you
That's-
sure?
Fucking dude.
Steve,
Are you
I
What we
sure?
share that
What were you
image with
gonna
me.
say, Rick?
I'm not sure. I really don't know.
I was gonna say, as far as the men and women can't be friends, my best friend since kindergarten has been a chick. So, just saying.
Okay,
And
so it's a 1%
it
in
can't
rate.
front
happen.
of you, you would do it.
But what is the problem with this outfit?
No,
I think it's easier to say what isn't
other
the
than the
problem
fact-
with this outfit.
Yeah, sorry. What is the problem with this image? Sorry, I'm like the outfit's just fucking weird.
Is the tail CGI?
No,
No, it's a butt plug.
no.
40's
And
not wrong.
yeah, it's a thing. You can
Well, it could be a belt.
no, they're a thing. You can find them on Amazon.
And other places that are less reputable. Like
Now
that.
he's gonna go on Amazon. He'd be like, "Hey,
That's
ooh la
that's
la."
that's the entire reason why I said it. Yes, they're on Amazon. Go look.
The-
I
the-
dare you.
I appreciated how many people agreed with no, that's a butt plug so quickly.
I want to give
I mean,
I know who my people are.
Can we please share that image with LeBron James?
Ooh, yes.
Oh,
Tag
You
him
know-
on it.
Ouch.
Do you know why I'm saying that, Vincent?
Yes.
Perfect.
I don't lay it on me.
hold up.
Every time-
We got
Spill
got
the
Brother
tea, my
Tyler.
man.
Brother Tyler said wood.
If you look up every picture of LeBron James reading a book, it's always the first page. At least this clown isn't at least a third of the way through the book.
Well,
That's a good
LeBron
point.
James also reads it upside down.
Yeah. And he's also been photographed wearing French maid's clothes. So yeah.
Yes, he
Yeah.
has. So
Oh,
this
we've all
is
been there.
his assistant, I'm guessing.
You what now?
No,
okay?
we have not all been there, sir.
Okay. I don't judge.
Okay.
I don't judge. I judge them. I don't judge you because you're a friend.
You haven't been to Montreal many times.
Oh yes, yes I have.
So that is don't be
I
that
was gonna
guy.
say I have.
War,
I
beloved
have
man
never done
whores of Montreal.
Mm.
The Golden Banana. That's a bar.
So we're gonna get into the first question here of tonight, and pulling it up because I don't have a producer. I am a producer. All right, so guys, why is it what? Well, yeah, you're the producer on Kayla. Like, I don't have someone doing the slides and all this stuff. That's what I mean. It's okay.
No, I'm saying you are your own producer. So you
Yeah,
do technically
I
have
am.
one.
I am. More work. Why is it important for guys to embrace their masculinity and do masculine things? Vincent,
It's in your DNA. It's coded.
thank you.
You're supposed to go out. You're supposed to kill the animal. You're supposed to bring it back to the cave, skin it, cut it up so that everybody else can eat. You're
Mhm.
supposed to stand watch at the mouth of the cave to make sure other animals don't come in there and kill you trying to get your food. You are supposed to
Yeah.
protect your loved ones. You are supposed to love your loved ones. You are supposed to go out, find shelter, do all kinds of amazing, masculine, wonderful things start a war, kill people, fucking explore the ocean, fucking find islands on the other
fire.
side of the ocean, then find people on there and kill them, and then go to the next island and do the same thing over again. It's masculine. You're hard coded to do it. I mean,
You
what's
forgot-
this?
Forgot
What did
to
I forget?
mention. You forgot to mention liberate Gaza. Just saying.
Oh no, that's well, we have to wait till Saturday. Saturday at 9 a.m. I think is kickoff.
Yeah. Noon Eastern, 9 Pacific.
But
Wait,
Canadian
are we
Spider-Man.
talking about for Gaza Argo?
Yes.
but yeah, as I was saying, these things are all
That's a lot.
coded inside of it. It doesn't take a lot to bring them out. Like we were discussing in the green room before we went on air. Teach a man how to swing a hammer correctly. He'll want to swing that hammer all goddamn day. He'll want to learn how to build a house. He'll want to learn how to frame it out. He'll want to learn how to build risers for steps. He'll want to learn how to fucking add on to a garage and do all kinds of amazing things that he never thought he was capable of doing because people are telling him, oh, it's too masculine. You can't do that. It's simply toxic. Well, simply take a deep suck out of my ass because it's what we do. Okay, rant over.
Canadian Spider-Man.
Yeah, if you,
You
as
stole
a
my
man,
answer.
if you don't go and do masculine things, I'm pretty sure it'll affect you mentally. It'll affect your psyche. We are hardwired, as you said, to go and do masculine things, and the day that men stop doing masculine things, society pretty much stops progressing. Because let's face it, that's some of the greatest inventors of our time that are responsible for all of our progress forward have been men doing manly things, not investigating their own feminist side. They're doing out there killing bears and inventing things and harnessing electricity and sticking their dicks in things and seeing what happens. And that's exactly what men are supposed to be doing. And that's exactly right.
That should have been the title of the episode.
Yeah.
You know what, Canadian Spider-Man? When you said put your dick in anything, there was a guy who was working on a house, and I asked a stupid question. I was like, "Well, how do you know you're gonna get shocked?" And he's like, "Well, you put your dick in the light socket and you figure it out."
That's right.
And I looked at him like, "No," and he had a dead straight face, and I was like,
Ah.
what kind of weird California stuff do you guys do? Like, and he's all like, don't be retarded.
That reminded me of a really terrible joke my dad told me when I was a kid. Basically, this son of an Indian chief went to his dad and says, I need to know how to mate with woman. I don't know how. He's like, see the knothole in the tree? Go check it out. And of course, so he goes and does his business with the tree. And then he goes back to his dad and says, I think I figured it out. And his dad says, well, let me see. Goes over and grabs a stick and starts rubbing around the hole. What you do? Me check them for bees.
Oh, man.
That's the reason why he only does 2 shows a night.
Yeah.
And that is 3 too many.
Yeah. Rick, how would you answer this question?
Well, I mean, everybody's kind of gone over most of the basic answers, but I will say this from my own personal experience. Because of injuries and stuff, it's hard for me to do a lot of the things that I used to do, but occasionally I don't have a choice. So I spent all weekend, last weekend, working on plumbing and finally getting it fixed to the point where it was at least working well enough that I could have somebody come out and pump my septic tank. It was an amazing feeling when I was done. It was gross, and I never want to do it again. But being able to fix it, I was like, this is what it means to be a man.
Yeah. I'd rather do dry plumbing than wet plumbing any day.
Ugh.
What the fuck is
Yeah.
dry plumbing?
So dry
That's
plumbing
just
is
laying
when
the
you,
groundwork, top out, the finish. Not when you're actually sticking your hand down in the shit to dig a clog out.
yeah,
Ah.
it's dry. There's nothing going through or any of that
In a
stuff.
new construction.
Yeah.
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 The problem is if you do dry plumbing and then you set everything and then they set the cement down and then like, oh, we have to move this, and you're like, you got to be kidding me.
No, it doesn't.
Jeff, how would you answer this question?
Can you put it back up on the screen, please?
No, I may not. Yeah,
I asked nicely.
you did. I'm going to give you a nice answer. Yes. Why is it important for guys to embrace their masculinity and do masculine things?
It's important to take those moments, especially if you are raising a teenage male son, to go out, do the camping thing, touch grass, smell the ocean, look at the night sky to realize just how small we really are, and then come back, feel refreshed, bang the fuck out of your girlfriend or wife, split an egg in two, create twins to show that you are a man's man by creating two kids on one nut shot. Now that's partially a joke, partially real, but it's
legislation.
but it's that feeling of doing those masculine things that embrace us in the regard of loving the ones that we love. Because when we do masculine things, we end up loving ourselves as men, and then we can share that love to everyone else around us.
Yeah. Ordy.
You know what? Since all the good answers were taken, I'm going to key on one word in that question, and that's embrace. And that is learn to fucking shake a hand. There is nothing that skeeves me out more than a man with a soft handshake.
Yeah.
It is just, and I'm not saying you got to sit there and grind fucking knuckle bones into powder, but just, I mean, if I go to shake your hand and I don't know if I'm I don't know if I'm supposed to pump it or bring it to my lips and kiss it while saying Enchante.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Get a grip.
Just do the
It's a
Trump
hand, not your
handshake.
dick.
Just do a Trump shake. Don't let the hand go. You're like, you're mine, sucker. For me, it's this is a big one for me because I always go back and forth every day, and I've talked to a few guys about this on the phone, and this is what drives me nuts about this is it's guys. I think guys are afraid to embrace the masculinity because of what society says. And no one is telling, like, no men are telling them, like, go do this. Because the moment they do this, then it's like, this is awesome. The ego drops, everything. They become humble. They become everything that they're supposed to do. Get off your lazy ass and go do something. Stop going on ads, starting fights. Stop doing all these things like I know everything about this and that. And it's like, dude, men don't know everything. We just know everything of, like, I'm going to
I'm
rephrase that.
sitting right here, dude.
I know. But men don't know everything. But we're good at certain things. In the sense of, like, I know actually how to build a house. I'm pretty good at it. But I don't know how to do quantum physics or anything like that. But you're never going to hear me talk about it like I know what I'm talking about. Because I don't, like, I'm going to look like a jackass. Like, I don't know Shakespeare poets and all that stuff. Like, it's not my thing. Vincent will know it. But it's learn what you're good at and stick to that. Don't act like you know every single thing in the world. Because that gets really boring and men will figure it out and they're like, it's like if your wife your wife or girlfriend says, "Hey, we're gonna have dinner
And
with this
back.
couple," and you're
Sorry.
back, and
I had to do
We're
some
gonna have-
masculine things in the bathroom. Don't go in there.
Febreze it. No, it's like your wife or girlfriend goes, "Hey, we're gonna go have dinner with this couple." The guy is most likely gonna be like, "Crap, I gotta meet him. I have to meet this guy. Like, why? Like, I don't know." And because it's like, what if he starts talking about like, I know everything. Oh, I'm a nerd. I'm all this and I'm that. It's like, the men are just gonna be like, this guy is a complete weirdo. I don't want to be here anymore. Your friend is nice, but the dude is weird. And yeah, unless like he says, hey, what do you want to drink? What do you got? Water, soda pop, whiskey. I'll take whiskey. And then you're best friends for some reason, and it works out. That's how life works.
It's smiling and nodding politely because you don't want to get involved in the conversation, and then he offers you bourbon. Brother.
Yeah, I went to.
You know,
that was
I would rather have a plum floating in cologne served in a man's hat, if you don't mind.
Number 8. Number 8.
I remember I went to this wedding in Texas, and my wife's friend, and she's like, "Yeah, we're going to this wedding in Texas." It's like, cool, I'm going to Texas. I don't care. And then I was like, "Oh, I have to actually meet this guy." This guy's like, "What would you like to drink?" And I said, "Well, what do you have? Like, I don't know you at all. I'm in your house." Like, he's like, "Well, I got water. I got pop. I got beer, and I got bourbon." I was like, "What kind of bourbon you got?" He pulled out Woodford Reserve, and I was like, "Buddy, we're friends for life." And then he told me, he's like, "Dude, first, before I was going to meet you, I didn't know how you were going to react, but knowing that you like bourbon, we're good friends." That's like a natural way guys become friends sometimes. It's like if there's something that you connect with. But if you get like where you meet a guy, he's all like, "I want to talk about this," and da da da, and you're like, "Dude, you sound like an idiot right now. Do you know?" Or if you start talking, they ask you, "What do you do for your work?" And I'm like, "Well, I build houses." And they're like, "Oh," and they get all skittish. I'm like, "It's just building a house. It's not like building a nuclear bomb or anything. Like, it's just a house." And it's, to me, that's like, you need to get outside and use your hands. Like, Orty was right about the handshake thing. A soft hand, when you shake a man's hand and it's soft, it feels weird because it's like, this guy doesn't know how to build with his hands.
Yeah,
like, he doesn't know how to do things. Like, how to embrace your masculinity. Go out, hunt, go do something fun.
See, there's a science to it. There's a science to shaking hands, and people think they don't know it, but you know it instinctively after doing it several times. It's, you grab someone takes your hand, and they're going to squeeze. You give them not slightly more than the pressure they're giving you, but then you back off slightly. Mm-hmm. So it has to be firm, but not, like you're squeezing.
You want to come in locking.
Like a veal cutlet or something like that.
Yeah. When I try to shake a hand, here sometimes I'll do a lazy handshake sometimes because I'm not prepared for it. Because the guy will like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Oh crap, we're doing a handshake now, cool." What next? A hug or something like that. But I like to go in where the thumbs just lock in, and then it's just a firm grip. You don't want to go. You're right, Vincent. You don't want to go overpowering than them, but it's like you want to give some type of good grip.
Somebody put that blaster on safe, please.
Who did the blaster?
Yeah. Also, you can also clap them on the shoulder. That works. Clap them on the shoulder as you shake hands.
Have you noticed? I was thinking that during COVID, people stopped shaking hands for a while, and I wasn't sure if the masculine handshake would return. It didn't take long for it to come back.
Oh no, right? it came back with a vengeance.
Yeah. None of this gay fucking.
You know what I tell guys?
People actually got better at it when they came back. It's like they were practicing while they were out for 4 years.
Yeah,
it's like you can get a good handshake.
Someone comes up to give you an elbow bump, you elbow them to the head.
Wow, your grip is a lot stronger this time. What have you been doing? Working out. No,
masturbating. It worked
furiously.
What else was I supposed to do? I finished YouTube, so I finished Pornhub too.
I mean, I started life as a righty, and it wasn't until COVID I became ambidextrous. I don't know why.
That's right.
I occasionally sit on my hand.
I tried the ghost hand.
Time for a stranger. Woohoo!
Yep.
No, it's. Do you know what I call guys who still wear masks?
Gay
women.
Do you masturbate with a condom?
Ooh.
Actually,
nice
I did that once.
Nice one.
It's an interesting thing. Yeah.
We don't.
It's not bad.
That's a challenging wank, though, isn't it? When you think about it.
I find it difficult, but not impossible.
Oh, let's get to the next one. That's the thing, guys. If you're at a gas station, you see a guy pumping gas and he's wearing a mask, just say, "Hey, do you masturbate with a condom on?"
Does your wife
The
watch
wife's
this
like,
show?
"He does."
Steve, does your wife watch this show?
No.
No, it's probably better if she doesn't.
This is the dirtiest we've ever gone. We're letting loose.
Well,
My
that's
mom
not-
Oh,
actually.
I've been much worse. I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
So here's something. Bless my mom's heart.
Dude,
She'll
between
watch
me and
the
Orty,
show.
this is the day that ends in Y.
I know.
Right?
But my mom has watched the show a few times. She's like, "You guys." I was like, "Say no more." But here's the next question, guys. Why is it important for guys? No, not that question. This
We
question.
just did that.
Yes, I know. Thank you.
Your mom is my age, I think.
No, she's not.
52?
No, she's much older. Anyways, I'll explain this question a little bit more. What is something a guy who is a hotshot does that he thinks is masculine? Like someone who will read in a Wikipedia and thinks he knows everything about how to build a house or whatever it is. What's something a guy would do that just irritates you? Like, dude, we know. I know it's an odd question. I wrote this one at 3 a.m.
No, it's an interesting
Like the
one.
whole show is taking a shot at me.
A little bit. I think it's one of those where they're a hot shot when they're talking to other guys like they're idiots on a subject matter. You just when they instantly go into that range of talking down without knowing who you are.
The condescending tone. That, yeah.
Yes.
That's
You
a
instantly
big
are put
giveaway.
off going, this guy watched a Saturday morning cartoon on G.I. Joe and thinks all of a sudden he knows how to fire a gun.
And I simply just look at him in the face. I'm like, I was a professional soldier for 18 years. I have killed people younger and smarter than you.
Yeah.
And that usually shuts them up.
Until you brought it around to firing a gun, I was pretty sure you were taking a shot at NDT. Just saying.
It's like, bitch, you couldn't hit the floor if you fucking fell on it. And 9 times out of 10, they can't.
Ordy.
Outside of a barn from the inside. The whole alpha male flex, and I mean, just that whole. It's just also fucking cringe. It's like we say, if you have to say you're an alpha male, you aren't.
Exactly.
Because alpha males don't need to advertise. Disco Stew doesn't need to advertise.
Disco Stew is an alpha.
He
He's
absolutely
complete alpha.
is. No, it's just
fish
the whole fucking, the over the top, fucking gay homoerotica, shirtless pics, and the
Black Rifle coffee and
and the black, and the.
Hey, I wear Black Rifle coffee shirts.
You really shouldn't.
Yeah.
I know. Hey, I only got the Black Rifle coffee shirts before they started acting like dipshits, and I wear them for work. So if they get dirty, they get dirty. Whatever.
It just just the whole false bravado. That they'd go like, if something were to catch on, if the building were to catch on fire, they'd go full George Costanza, knocking down old women and children to get out, and just all that fucking that over the top machismo. You can tell contrived machismo versus guys who are actually fucking masculine and don't give a fuck. The first thing is you just don't give a fuck. Yeah, I look good. Fuck it. Yeah.
Proper alphas don't have anything to prove. They especially don't have to prove anything to you.
Right.
Because they've already done it or they've already achieved a specific goal that they planned out. Like, a lot of the guys that I knew in the service, a lot of guys who were Rangers and Green Berets. They were the most. The only way I can actually describe it, they were so laid back, they were almost boneless. Seriously, these guys were
They could limbo under a rug.
They were like water.
exactly. They were so relaxed, so chill, and it was just you could, if you knew what you were looking for, you could tell they had that confidence. Just in the way they carried themselves, just in the way they moved, and in the way they carried themselves, the way they talked to other people, and fake alphas and fucking beta cucks and all that. They don't know how to do that because they've never done anything like that. I mean, I've got like a fucking 14-2 KIA on fucking Call of Duty. Yeah, okay. Wow. That's an achievement. I'm very pleased.
I here so one is like you guys are pretty spot on with it with the guys who think they're tough. It's the guy for me. It's the guys who played football and think, "Oh, I played college football. I did all this." Like, ooh, and you actually sit down with them and then you get to know them, and you're like, "Why are you trying to be tough?" Because that's what I have to be. Like, to me, an alpha male is not someone who has to be tough all the time. They're the quiet ones. They're the ones who are going to do the dirty job. They're the 3 o'clock friends, 3 a.m. friends. They're your friends who you call at 3 a.m. and you're hearing the belt loop strap and the gun strap and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah,
they're prepared. They're
sounds
strapped,
urban
ready
and
to
full
go.
of stuff.
And most of the guys who act tough and all this stuff, they're the 6 p.m. guys. Like, after 6 p.m., you can't talk to them because I gotta watch, I don't know, whatever the 6 p.m. guys are
Murder,
doing.
She Wrote.
Dude, I used to.
Yeah, Murder, She Wrote.
I used
No,
to tell all the guys in my squad that, I lived off post because I was married at the time, and I told them, if you ever come into any sort of problem, I mean, if you run out of money, if you get into a fight, if you get arrested, my number should be the only telephone number that pops into your head. You call me.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a problem, we will talk it out. If there's something wrong, we will figure out a solution. I will take your ass to Waffle House at 4 o'clock in the morning, and we will sit down, drink some coffee, and figure out what to do. You're paying for the fucking coffee, but we're going to figure out what to do.
And there'll probably be a fight because it's Waffle House.
Oh, absolutely. That's the only reason you go. It's part of the ambiance.
Oh, yeah.
Can't
This
wait
place
to
has
send that
ambience.
to Waffle House.
Pork chops and eggs, brother. Nothing better at 3:30 in the morning.
We need Waffle House.
Mm.
That's the
Jeff,
other great thing when we take over Canada, and we'll trade Tim Hortons for Waffle House.
Perfect.
Okay.
Bring it on.
deal.
Tim Hortons is
But-
American anyway.
But, Jeff, what is your opinion on the question? Do you want me to pull it up for you?
No, I actually was the first one
Yes,
to answer. on
pull
this
it
one.
out for us, Steve.
Oh, because everyone started talking all at once. They're like, I want in on this question.
No, I've answered my piece, and I've loved the answers thus given afterwards.
Cool. All right, here's the next question, guys. When I say stop screening it, I should not do that. Just pay attention. Whatever. We're live. Here's a good one. Why do you think more guys are less likely to do more masculine things?
One word answer,
Vincent.
brother. Women.
Bingo.
I'd like to add to that.
What?
I love the first word, women, but in my heart, I first landed on this planet in Britain, so women are cunts.
Man makes a good point.
But we don't hate women.
No, we don't. No. By all,
No,
Women-
absolutely not.
women are amazing creatures, beautiful. It's such infinite variety. It one of God's supreme creations, but inherently, women could fuck up a 1-car funeral procession.
You know the best way to put that? Well, you guys just made this pop into my head. You know the speech from Tommy Lee Jones in Men in Black when he's talking about the difference between a person and people?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the difference between a woman and women.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
You got to keep them separated.
Yes.
Preferably up and separated.
And
Shit.
it's
But
why we do some, and we've talked about it over the length of all these episodes. It's why we do some of the most stupid shit we ever do, is because we think we will please the woman or the woman we want in our life,
Yes.
and we constantly trip on our own dick and demasculate ourselves at times to do it. And then our friends are laughing their asses off over the beer we're sharing, going, "Do you see Bob over there? Yeah, he's whipped, isn't he? Yep." I mean, my first wife among my friends used to be called Genghis Khan because some of the shit she would try to pull on me. And there were times where, unfortunately, I was not raised by men. I was raised by nothing but women. So there were moments in my youth that really, I was like, oh, I'm just going to shut up, especially being raised by redheaded women. I'm just going to shut up and not hear the argument, not hear the bitching, not hear the complaining. And my first wife knew I had that in me, and she tried to utilize that against me all the fucking time. And sometimes it was just easier to go along to get along. And that's when you start becoming demasculated and you start doing this, and then you're sitting there holding the purse in the brassiere section as she's shopping, and you're like, what the fuck did I do with my life?
You start going through the purse for liquor money.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. This question is very interesting because I will say it's partially certain group of women, feminists, that have caused this, but it's also society, social media, all this stuff, because I think it comes down to a fear of guys wanting to, because I think there's some guys who they get uncomfortable trying new things and challenging themselves, and they feel comfortable with where they're at, with the lane they're in. I always say stick in your own lane, but when it comes to masculinity, you got to try new things. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, okay, try the next thing. And don't let a woman tell you, oh, you need to be more in tune with your emotions. You need to be more tuned talking about all the things. Here's the thing.
No.
I've learned this when it comes to guys, especially men. The only time that men will talk about their emotions, it's not your typical how women talk about their emotions. It's way different. It's usually around a car or around a truck or just chilling outside, looking out in the sky with beer. And then you just have conversations because you're letting off things. You're just like, you don't have to go in depth of your entire emotions.
No,
You're just
that should be the only time you talk about emotions, is with your friends.
I don't need to go to my wife and go, oh this. No, I have a couple guy friends. I can just be like, hey, this. Emotions. Like ever. I can go to Gary. I've mentioned this before. I can go to Gary. I've known him for quite a while. He's pretty much a brother to me. I can come to him and he knows, hey, what's going on with you? I can tell him, hey, this is what I'm struggling with. This is my insecurity on certain things. And I just need to vent. And sometimes a guy will know, hey, I don't need to solve this problem. I just need to listen. Because that's sometimes what a guy just needs, is just someone just to listen to them. And then
was he listening when you told him that you were gay?
Yeah. I'm pretty
that
sure.
Threw me off.
Sure
that question.
Tell him.
But then he'll tell me, he's like, hey, how about you do this? Like, he'll get to a point where he's like, how about you just go pick up a hammer and go hammer some nails? Go do that. And like push my masculinity.
I'm starting to think this is a code phrase for Steve.
What?
Starting to think hammering nails might be a code phrase for you, sir.
Yeah, that should be your new nickname instead of Short Bus.
We can't change it. It's Short Bus.
I know. The hammer.
I do like hammers, but no, that's to me. It's like, don't be afraid of like what women are gonna say. Like, oh, that's too. Oh, it's like, who cares? I'm not doing this for you. Like, are you my wife? No, then get the fuck out. Like, that's what I would say. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for my legacy. Like, that's the thing that guys need to do is.
You have to
What?
remember several things. In the end, friends will betray you, women will leave you, and the only thing that you can count on is God and your dog. That's it.
Oh.
Both use the same 3 letters.
Exactly.
And a $3 night at Circle K.
And the $3, yeah.
With cocaine.
Absolutely.
And
Only-
hot
Only if you
dumpster
can,
sex
only if
with
you can
milk.
pry the coupon. Only if you can pry the $3 coupon out of Orty's hand without having to kill him first.
Yeah.
You'll get my
He's
you'll
never-
get my punch card out of my cold dead pocket.
Well, he's got the bonus points app in his phone now, so you can take his phone.
No, I'm old
But I
school. I
think-
use the card and I keep it inside my cock ring.
He's Amish. His phone is a tin cannon string.
Yeah. But I think that's what's important is like if guys, I think guys are just too afraid because they sit in their lane of like, I like my pop culture, I like my games, I like all this stuff. I'm like, there's more to life than all that stuff. That's all fun. Those are fun hobbies. But just go out and do something. Go camping, build a fire, build a house.
Go
something.
pick a fight.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you said that because Jeff had a one-word answer. My one-word answer was actually going to be fear. And fear is as is well known. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration.
I will face my fear.
Yep. And then I will
I
skull
will
fuck
permit it
it.
to pass over me and through me. But you know what? Actually, in taking that quote, I actually like the older one. Fear is the little death that kills me over and over. Without fear, I die but once.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay. That's my next tattoo.
That's actually a mantra from the city of introspection during the Butlerian Jihad.
The butt jihad?
Yes.
Dune
Sorry.
reference.
Yeah, Dune. Dune posting. Dune chatting.
Hashtag Dune Chat. See, Steve's looking, and yeah, we didn't mention a specific intellectual property. We mentioned something else, which did not fall under any prescription. So yeah, we can still
See,
talk.
I know you dingleberries. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to.
But still, no, I mean, to expand, it's the fear of failure, the fear of looking foolish, the fear of not knowing, the fear of humiliation, the fear of the unknown. That's what keeps men from doing masculine things.
Mm-hmm.
See, once you learn to embrace fear and accept it, a weight comes off your shoulders. See,
Well,
I couldn't have said this like 25, 30 years ago because back then I was still worried about impressing people. The day I finally figured it out and stopped wanting to impress people, men and women, my eyes opened up, and it was like someone took 1,000-pound weight off my shoulders because I no longer give a single solitary fuck about what anyone thinks of me. And it liberates you in ways you cannot imagine.
Have you guys ever had another guy try to impress you with what they know?
Oh yeah,
And
all the
do?
time.
Oh yeah.
Is it like the weirdest thing ever?
It is, and it's very off-putting.
I ain't gonna fuck you, dude.
One of my ex-brother-in-laws used to do that all the time because he was constantly, and I don't know why, he constantly felt he was in competition with me because at the time I was married, I was still a soldier, and I just finally broke down and told him, I'm like, stop it. You're not a soldier. You don't have to do anything to impress me. The only thing that the only person you have to impress is your wife. and your kids. Impress them. Don't worry
Yeah.
about impressing me because I'm not paying your rent. I'm not your boss. There's no fucking reason for you to do this. And frankly, it's just lowering my opinion of you. And he
Yeah.
eventually got the point, and we actually got to be pretty good friends after that for the, I think, 3 years remaining in the marriage. But yeah,
I mean,
See,
that's
and that's
good.
it. I figured out it a little bit ago, and just same as you, Vince. Is once I figured out if they're not signing my paycheck or sucking my dick, I really have no need to impress them.
That's right.
Well, one of the things I posted on X was if guys stopped Google searching hot women, like images, dude, you're gonna find a woman. Like,
That was a
meaning
direct
go
shot.
out and do something.
That was a
Like,
subtweet.
it's like just go do something. Because if you want to do something that's like gonna attract a woman, because most guys are like, hey, I want to do this so I can attract a woman. Okay, then go do it. Like, ask for help if you don't know how to do it, or Google it, or YouTube it, or whatever. Because YouTube, Rumble, they all have that of how to do things. Just go do it. Because a woman's gonna see that and be like, wow, he actually can do things. And the moment you realize, hey, I don't need to impress anybody, yeah, you attract more people. Like, the moment I'm like, I don't need to impress someone on how to build a model or how to make a movie or how to build a house, there's going to be guys who are like, hey, let's hang out and let's talk. Because you're not trying to impress them. They just see you like you're doing your work. You're just working. You're doing something. Or building a fire or doing, I don't know, camping. I always say go camping. That's one of the most masculine things you can do. Chop wood. Call up Canadian Spider-Man at 3 a.m. He'll
Yeah,
pick up
man.
like,
drink
Yeah,
rum and build a bonfire.
Yep.
shoot fireworks from the
Not
fire.
fireworks.
Yep. Start the
So
fire
glad I
with
didn't
a
have any guns
shotgun.
that day.
Yeah, and Steve, if I can answer that question,
Yeah.
I think guys are less likely to do masculine things today because, in general, masculine things are difficult, and we don't value doing difficult things like our parents' generation, our grandparents' generation used to. Doing difficult things is not admired. I mean, back in our grandparents' generation, people were literally doing difficult things, trying to go to the moon, trying to circumnavigate the planet. The challenge was in doing difficult things. And by and large, masculine things are difficult things. We do them because they're difficult. And I think a lot of people today don't do things that are masculine because they're difficult. It's so easy to just take the easy way out. We have government assistance more than we've ever had. Let's call it communism if we want to put a name on it. And so people aren't forced to go and work and forced to do hard things. People aren't forced, oh, it's too hard. You can just declare bankruptcy, and there's too many ways to weasel out of things. And parents aren't making their kids do stuff like they used to. Back in the day, your parents would force you to do things. Now,
You'd get your ass beat if you didn't do things.
But that requires difficult parenting. Parenting used to be difficult back then. Now it's I don't want to take the effort to be. I want my kid to be my friend. It's difficult to be.
That was the biggest mistake ever made.
How many
the
single
psychology
mothers do we have raising kids? And that's
exactly
a big part of the problem.
Child psychology. Ooh, make your child your friend. No, my child can be my friend when he's turned 21.
Yes,
and he's
when he earns it.
And when he earns it,
until
exactly.
then, they are scared the fuck out of me.
Oh no, I wouldn't say fear, like total fear. I would say healthy respect.
The healthy fear.
Healthy respect.
I might get killed if I do something wrong.
Yeah, if I step out of line, shit's definitely going to happen.
That's right. Yeah. But I think that's it. Because masculine things in general are difficult. Women like to do easy things. Men like to do hard things. And that's why we're not doing masculine things, because people don't want to do hard things anymore.
No,
You don't
people-
find people just grabbing rowboats and sailing across the friggin' Atlantic anymore.
They,
I don't know.
You don't
they have an
find people
excuse
going in
for
barrels
everything.
over the Niagara Falls anymore. When's the last time someone jumped in a barrel and tried to go over the Niagara Falls?
You should do it.
Far too many women love far too many hard things, if you catch my meaning, Mr. Frodo.
It's excuses. Yeah, dude, the effective range of an excuse is 0 fucking meters. And yes, I said meters, Steve, because it's a range of
damn it.
distance when firing a
You
fucking weapon.
bastard. You know what? You French loving Shakespearean homoerotic. Its metric system is for the dummies. I don't know. I just pissed off a bunch of people.
Water
Probably like,
freezes at
fuck
0.
Rancor Steve.
I don't know.
Did Rick answer?
300
yeah.
I mean,
kilometers an hour is pretty
I
fast.
think everybody's kind of talked to death about. The only point I was going to make is one of the reasons we have so many men that are not doing masculine things is because they haven't had a masculine figure in their life. So most of them don't know how.
Mhm.
That's why
That
we're
is
here, Rick.
Well, yeah, I know,
Besides-
but then that's
We'll
that's
help
the
you.
point.
besides-
Listen, and we
insulting
will
you.
guide you.
We'll
Whatever.
help you. We're here. It's okay.
I'm so glad I have all of you. Okay.
Listen, man, I do all this thing, and I just want to make a house.
Welcome to
All
Costco.
right,
I'm
I'm
just gonna make
I
my
love
house-
you.
I'm just gonna make my house out of Legos. It's easier. I'm just gonna build my house out of Legos because it's easier.
Hey, you know what?
He
I'll
would.
do that.
If he could.
I
he
would.
He totally
Mhm.
would.
It'd be the coolest looking Lego
I mean-
house ever.
I mean,
And
me.
then
I'm
you
just gonna build my house out of Legos because it's easy.
Yeah.
Imagine cleaning a Lego toilet.
I'd
I'm
rather
good.
not. But thanks for that.
Yeah,
I'd
addition.
rather
I'm
not.
good.
I'd rather not
Wait.
sit on a Lego toilet. Really.
Ooh.
Oh, there's a thought.
Ooh. You're gonna lose a testicle.
A lot of scrapes and burns. But those are the questions for tonight. Does anybody have a final thought? This is something new that we're
Yeah,
gonna do. Is a final thought.
I don't want the women who are listening to the show to think in any way, shape, or form that we're intentionally ganging up on them on purpose.
Mhm.
It's I get passionate about certain things, and
Yeah.
this subject happens to be something that I'm passionate about. You should just let men be men, because if you do, if you allow them to be men, number one, they're going to be happier. And to those of you who are married, you know the saying, "Happy wife, happy life."
That is the most
If-
bullshit phrase I've ever heard in my
Yes,
life.
I know, but it does work. It works on both sides. If your husband is happy, he's going to do his damnedest to make you happy.
Yeah, that is true.
It works both ways.
Happy
Mhm.
spouse, happy house.
There you go.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Canadian Spider-Man, any final thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah, no, just yeah, I guess final thought on tonight's topic, not up or shut up. Don't complain as a dude. If you're a woman, it's just a given. But if you're a dude, don't complain unless you have a solution, and B, the desire to put effort in to resolve it. If you're willing to cooperate otherwise don't complain. If you're not willing to help fix the problem, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the landscape.
But, man, Die Hard.
Yeah.
Greatest Christmas movie ever. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem, pal.
Jeff, any final thoughts?
Men come in many forms, many sizes, many shapes.
Giggity.
Exactly. At our heart, we pump blood that energizes us. Some of us are blessed to have family that we help create. And far too many times we will listen to other people's opinions and thoughts on ourselves or our kids with no idea what they are talking about or what our life has endured. And at the same time, most men, real men, just want peace. They want quiet. They want to know that sense of accomplishment. And far too many times we stop ourselves from doing that. Clear your own hurdle first and just run with it, and you will have an amazing life.
Yeah, that's good. Orty.
I wonder if they make that shampoo I like.
I'll just, the instructions were too complicated. I got my dick caught in the light socket.
This explains so much.
Yes.
Yes.
At last, the clouds parted
yeah.
to show the true sky.
Rick, any final
This
thoughts?
doesn't explain the lampshade.
I mean, I'm gonna say something a little bit different than most of the rest of the panel because of some thoughts that I've been having lately. Much like the American dream, masculinity doesn't mean the same thing to everyone. So the first thing you need to do, especially if you are somebody who is starting to try to figure out what it means to be masculine, is start doing your own research. Figure out what other people say that masculinity is, and that way you can figure out what it is for yourself. Yes, it's all the things that we've been talking about, but there's also a deeper meaning to being masculine. Predominantly, it's some of the same things that Vincent was talking about. As a masculine man, your job is to protect the people around you. And it shouldn't even be a job. It should be ingrained in you. But again, most boys aren't taught that anymore because they're raised by their moms and they don't know they don't have anything to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest thing is, if you are struggling with what you think masculinity is, find shows like this, find other YouTube folks. I mean, if it's something just as simple as, figuring out how to swing a hammer, there's folks that do this stuff on YouTube now. There's a guy that said that his entire shtick on YouTube is "I'm your daddy now, and I'm going to show you how to do stuff." And that's amazing to me. The YouTube is starting to be used that way because there are so many boys that didn't grow up with that type of stuff, and they don't have shop anymore or all the things that we used to use in school to learn how to do stuff. So it can be an amazing tool. So don't let anybody pigeonhole for you what masculinity is either. But no, wearing a skirt doesn't count. Just saying.
That's I like
Unless you're
that.
Scottish.
Unless it's a kilt, yeah.
Yeah.
If I meant kilt, I would have said kilt. I do know the difference.
That's
Just
true.
saying.
We're here, man. We know. We care. No,
Kilts are awesome. I'm part Irish. So.
Girls in kilts.
Yeah, that's called a skirt.
That's a schoolgirl. That's a schoolgirl skirt. That's not a kilt.
I was thinking
Yeah.
Japanese schoolgirls.
Yeah, that's
Anyways,
not a kilt.
Yeah, we better wrap this up quickly.
Especially now because he's gonna have to go take care of something.
So for me, my final thoughts are: if guys who are watching now, 2 years from now, or whenever they stumble across this episode, it's okay to be afraid of trying new things. It's having that moment of stepping out and actually doing something that is out of your norm. Because the moment you actually can do that, you feel like you can accomplish a lot. There's a lot of guys I know, they just sit and play video games or sit and just watch YouTube or just sit and do nothing. And when I mean do nothing, I mean literally just not have the will to actually embrace what you actually can do. What your DNA, what you were meant to do is to protect people who you love, provide, do all those things, work your butt off, and not giving a care what people are going to think. Because the moment you stop caring, man, you're going to achieve so much more, and which is very important. Because I had to learn that, and I still learn it sometimes. I'm like, well, how are people going to react around it? And I get told by a lot of guys that are really close friends are like, who cares? I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. And it's okay. Like if for me, like if I need someone to give me a push, that's okay. If someone says, who cares? Okay. It gives you that boost of like, you know what? I can do this. It's accountability, pretty much. It's if being around other guy friends that are just who will be accountable to you is very helpful because they're there to help you learn. And in the same way with them, that's the thing. I think if guys understood that men we want accountability with everyone, it's just that friendship bond grows even more and it helps us grow even more. And then we can just take over the world and be masculine. And then we don't have to worry about stupid transgender guys and
That's it.
stupid furry and shit. And then it's just like,
No.
oh my gosh,
We're
like
gonna
we
need
can
to
move
shoot that
on.
up with full bats.
Everyone's gonna have a lifted truck diesel and all that stuff, and then they're gonna go by a climate change protest and just roll coal on them and be like, ha ha ha. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But on that note, we're going to do tip of the hat. Ahoy. What? So, tip of the hat is where we can allow people who are on YouTube, you can go over to Rumble, and if you want to put in your tip of the hat who has inspired you to be a man or masculine or any of that, any good things in your life, you can do a Rumble rant of whatever price you want to put in, and we will show that and share it to everyone at the end of our tip of the hats. And yeah, it's a way to get everyone who watched the show to be a part of the show, and yeah, get your word out there, get your name out there, and all that stuff. Jeff, who is your tip of the hat of this week?
My tip of the hat, sticking with the theme of tonight, is Thomas Mallory, author of Les Mots d'Arthur. If you know the story behind him, he is not someone you would think as possibly the forefather of telling of chivalry. And when we look at masculine men, sometimes we don't have it in our own lives. So at the age of 9 or 10, you discover this book, not knowing the degenerate who kind of wrote it. And you learn about fealty, you learn about courage, honor, justice, protection of the church, defense of the weak, courtesy, nobility, and duty. And you can seek a role model on a written page that makes you a better man than you thought you would ever be. So with that, I tip my hat to Thomas Mallory, the drunken prisoner who I inspire to be like, more drunken than prisoner, who helped lead men to a better masculine life.
Awesome.
Several
Rick.
hundred years later, we got to see Helen Mirren's tits because of it.
Yeah.
Winning. You know what? I'm basically trying to stick with the theme. I think for tonight, my tip of the hat goes to Sylvester Stallone. Dude is probably one of the most masculine men that you'd ever see in Hollywood, and he's a kick-ass individual. I mean, you have to remember, at one point, this dude was sleeping in his car until he sold the script for Rocky. And he never quits. He never gives up. I think that's one of the biggest things that a lot of people don't understand that is important about being a masculine man. You only fail when you stop trying. That's it. So, yeah, for me, I think I'm going with Sylvester Stallone for tonight.
That's a good one. Ordy.
You know, in keeping with the theme, I'm going to go generally, and those of you who follow me on X know that I am a on again, off again fan of Elon Musk because while he does do entertaining and important and awesome things, I am also the bitch of Twitter support and frequently suspended or at least shut down or fucked with in various ways. And
No,
he needs to clean up his house. Yeah, he really needs to clean up his house before he starts cleaning up the government. But having said that, I'm going to give tip of the hat to Elon Musk because for the last 6 days and hopefully for the next 2 weeks, the corporate media will be forced to say big balls every day.
Oh, that was so great.
And
Not
when showing Elon's tweets, we'll have to say, or at least show, hairy balls.
Yes.
So
they already had to do that today. It was great.
I know.
I think that was
Watch it. Watch. What's her name on CNN? Horrible, smuggest.
I think that may have been one of the things that made my show blow up today as I played all the clips of them calling him Harry Balls.
What
Harry
if we
Balls
just changed all their names to Harry Balls on X? Just
That
for
would
fun.
be-
I mean, there's enough different ways that you could spell it. You could probably pull it off.
Oh, yeah.
Vincent.
Well, in keeping with the fuck that, Charles Martel. Charles Martel was a French duke who lived back in the late 600s, early 700s, and at the Battle of Tours, basically single-handedly stopped the Moorish, read Islamic, invasion of France. Stopped it cold and prevented them from gaining a foothold in Europe, which kept them in Spain for the next 400 years with a well-deserved fear of the French. Believe it or not, they were actually feared at one point. And yeah, it's true. It's true. And his nickname was the Hammer. So you should love him, Steve.
Like that, yeah. Canadian Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, that almost makes me want to stay playing. But yeah, no. In keeping with tonight's theme, I want to give a shout out to, although he's not a real person but a fictional person, Uncle Ben. You know, with great power comes great responsibility, and that's a cornerstone. That's a cornerstone of being a man, is because we do have the power. I mean, let's not. Yeah, women are strong and independent. No bullshit. If we wanted you all in cages wearing nothing, it would be so. So with great power comes great responsibility. Men have great power. We rule the world, and with that comes great responsibility. We have a responsibility not to become cucks. We have responsibility to be the best men we can do. And we have a responsibility to ourselves to follow our instincts as men, because it's gotten us to where we are.
Absolutely, we rule the world. In the immortal words of Tears for Fears, omnis optant mundum regere. That's Latin for everybody wants to rule the world.
That's a great song. Uncle Ben. Cheers, Uncle Ben.
Salute.
For about a half a second, I thought he was about to give a shout out to the rice dude.
I was getting ready to say, he said Uncle Ben. I'm like, they sell Uncle Ben's rice in Canada?
They do. They actually do, and he's black.
Oh, my tip of the hat with going with today's topic is
keeping with the theme, Steve. Get it right.
You know what? I'm the host. I can say whatever I want. Yeah. It's going to be Johnny Cash.
Because love is a burning thing.
You know, he killed a man in Reno once just to watch him die.
Yeah.
And he got stuck in Folsom Prison.
And to me, Johnny Cash was the type of the guy.
Burning Ring of Fire.
Orange Blossom Special.
Johnny Cash to me was a guy who he pretty much didn't care. As he got older, he just didn't care.
He got high and ate a birthday cake while sitting in a bush.
Like he wore a all black suit.
Done that.
Like he's gonna do what he wants to do, and he's gonna do it how he wants to do it, and you're just gonna deal with it. And to me, it just pushes me to be like, you know what? I should be comfortable with not letting people tell me how I should do things. I should just do it.
Mhm.
If someone says,
Yep.
"Why are you wearing that?" Who cares?
See,
Like-
you are the only person who dictates your life, not other people.
Exactly. So that is my tip of the hat, Johnny Cash, and yeah, I want to say thank you for all the guys, Rick, Vincent, Ordy, Jeff, Canadian Spider-Man, for being on. This is a lot of fun. Next week we will not have an episode because my wife's birthday is next week, and
Like that's an
I've been
excuse.
That is-
shut up, Ordy. I've been told by two people, you will regret this in 20 years. And even if I said, "Hey, look, honey, I built you a house. Why are you griping about this one day?" Guess what? She will still nail me to the wall. But I am going to do something nice for my wife for her birthday because it's the nice thing to do. It's something to do. It makes my wife feel special, even though I'm taking her to Oregon this weekend. But
I mean,
so
shouldn't
I
you take her to
recommend
the,
stirrups.
shouldn't you take her to the Oregon every weekend? Oh wait,
No, that's a different thing.
Giggity.
yeah. So on the 24th, we're going to do an episode of, if no one has ever figured out what the next topic is going to be, it's going to be why men don't care. Meaning, at a certain point, men don't really care about what you wear, like what we're going to eat. We just don't care. Like, you
No.
look good, honey. Doesn't matter. Stuff like that. We're keeping to the theme of helping guys understand what masculinity is, and one of the things about being masculine is you don't really care. Like, if they're gonna be like, "Oh, this and that," it's like, I don't care about this story. Like, what does it involve me? No. Okay, cool. I don't
Right.
care.
Well, because we're practical. We're practical. If it's superfluous information, we don't need to know it.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's a certain
So-
point in a man's life where he becomes Gen X. For those of us who are Gen X, we're like that always.
Yeah. So on that note, I will see you guys in a couple weeks. It'll be fun, exciting, a lot of humor, and yeah. I always like to let the president, Donald Trump, one of the greatest of modern history, give the send off because he's just cool, man. He's just cool. All right, guys. You guys have a good week. I'll see you guys on February 24th. Y'all have a good time.
And we say bye-bye.
Bye bye.